Hello, everyone. I am Ryan Clifton Bowling. Thank you for joining me. Well, as we all know, the situation with Dave Chappelle and the crazy guy that jumped on stage the other day and tried to tackle Dave Chappelle, and he had some kind of weapon. It was a replica gun that could project a knife blade at him. Clearly, the man was trying to do some serious harm to Dave Chappelle. Well, according to the news article I just read, this individual, the DA, the district's attorney, I think in Los Angeles where this occurred, doesn't want to press felony charges against this individual because, according to their investigation, this is not deemed a felony. So I'm going to look at this article, and we're going to analyze this article, and we're going to see just why this district attorney does not want to call this a felony case. Let's look into this. Okay. The title of the article is LA's Soros-backed, Soros-backed DA declines to pursue felony charges against man who attacked Dave Chappelle. Oh, so I think we on our way to something right here. Soros-backed. If you know anything about George Soros, you know he hates America, and he gives tons of money to far left radical groups to dismantle and destroy America. He wants socialism in this country. Okay, so let's go into this. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office has declined to pursue felony assault charges against a man who attacked comedian Dave Chappelle with a deadly weapon on stage at the Hollywood Bowl Tuesday night. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office has referred the case to the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office for misdemeanor filing consideration. Greg Rislin, spokesperson for the Los Angeles County District Attorney Office, said in a statement Thursday. After reviewing the evidence, prosecutors determined that while criminal conduct occurred clearly, the evidence as presented did not constitute felony conduct. The district attorney's office does not prosecute misdemeanor crimes within the city of Los Angeles. I'm going to read one other portion of this, and I'm going to give you my spin on this. Video of the attack flooded social media on Tuesday after the crazed attacker leaped up on stage and leveled the comedian. The video shows the man running onto the stage and body slamming Chappelle, but other videos show Chappelle returning to the stage undaunted and seemingly unharmed. And if you saw that video, the man really, I was shocked. When I first saw it, like I said in my previous video, when I first saw it, I thought it was some kind of a joke. I'm like, man, what is this? Is this part of the act? But let's see here. Let me give you one more. Well, you know what? We're going to stop right there. We're going to stop right there. We're going to stop because I want to get right into this discussion. And you can read the rest of this article and the link in the description box below. But let's get right into this. I said before that I made a statement in reference to Will Smith in the previous video, how that Will Smith's actions open Pandora's box, so to speak. And basically it's going to make, and as a lot of YouTube commentators have said, is going to make it easier for people to attack comedians over something that they don't like. And we see this incident right here as one of the examples. We also seen a semi-relative incident occur like that last month or so with former rapper T.I. and how he heckled a female comedian or a fellow female comedian on stage and literally walked up to the stage and grabbed the microphone. So you can see the tension in that. So now we have an incident here where this guy bum rushes Dave Chappelle and has some kind of weapon on him, clearly indicating he was going to do some serious physical damage and bodily harm to my boy Dave Chappelle. And I said, as well as many YouTube commentators, that Will Smith's actions would make it easier for people to go off on comedians on stage. Now, someone might ask, well, why is that? Because Will Smith, even though he does not have a leadership position, he's not a politician or anything like that, he is well liked all over the world, and especially in America. People love the man. I don't know too many people who don't love him. So therefore, his actions has a lot of influence. regardless of whether it's right or wrong, his actions have a lot of influence. And because he's well loved all over the country and all over the world, whatever he does, people tend to follow. And that's with just about every celebrity and even politicians, but particularly celebrities in this instance, what they do and what they say, people tend to imitate because they love them. Okay. Well, we see an example of this with this guy bum rushing Dave Chappelle. Now, here's the thing that I wanted to add to that. I believe now, having seen this and having read this article, a light bulb went off in my head again, and that is that this incident of people attacking comedians on stage for things that they don't like won't just be because of what Will Smith did in opening the Pandora box and opening the gateway to this kind of action. It would also be, I believe, because of leaders in positions of authority and power, such as this district attorney, this liberal district attorney. If you read further into that article, not only was he financed by George Soros, but he's a progressive liberal. And there's a recall going out for him right now. Gee, I wonder why. Because crime is going up in these cities, because they want to slap the hand of all the criminals. And so I believe that not only Will Smith actions have opened up the gateway for people to assault comedians for things that they don't like, the comedians say that they don't like, but also these individuals are going to attack comedians because they're going to figure, well, nothing's going to happen to me. What's the big deal? I mean, they're going to slap me on my wrist and let me go. If the city is run by a progressive Democrat, or if the state is run by a progressive Democrat, or if the DA is a progressive liberal radical Democrat like this individual is here, this DA is here, they don't have nothing to worry about. They're going to get a slap on the wrist like everyone else is. So these type of actions, you have these kind of individuals in the celebrity field who are well loved, well liked, their actions influencing, good or bad, influencing people to go in a direction they ought not go in. And then you have people in leadership positions such as this DA or district attorney who's slapping these criminals on the wrist and saying, well, this is not a felony. No harm was done, so we're not going to charge this person with a felony crime. Clearly, the man had a weapon on him and he went to do harm. Even if it was a plastic weapon and it didn't have a bullet, it according to the article, it could shoot a knife blade at you. That's not a deadly weapon. So we get what we vote for. We get what we vote for. If people keep voting for these kind of liberal politicians and liberal DAs and liberal whatever and progressive liberals, we're going to keep getting these actions. See, it really comes down to a matter of what you value, the way I see it. If you value safety, if you value being able to leave your house safe and not have to worry about, someone knock you upside the head, and then when they get caught, the DA or whatever lets them out because they don't consider it to be that bad of a crime. If you value your safety and value law and order, you will vote for people regardless whether you're a conservative or a Democrat. You're going to vote for politicians who will put people in place that support that worldview that you have. So really, a lot of this comes down to a matter of what you value. I can't honestly believe that a significant, if not a vast majority of people in America value law and order. They value it, even though a lot of these liberal progressive Democrats try to make it seem like they don't. A lot of these liberal progressive Democrats do not represent the average American. Even those on the left, or even the Democratic people who are registered Democrats, that a lot of these liberal progressive Democratic politicians do not represent the interests of their own constituents. They don't represent they may represent the interests of the big donors, but they certainly don't represent the interests of the common man and common woman. And yet people keep voting for them. But I think that this is going to be a body slam to the progressive Democrats come November. If a war doesn't break out, and I honestly believe there's going to be a big riot. There's going to be a riot. You're going to have Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and the rest of these far left radical groups coming out hollering fascism, 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 just like they did in 2020. boy, oh boy, oh boy, the true misinformation is really coming out there is not from the conservatives, it's from the radical left. But as I said before, you're going to get this kind of stuff going on. But as I said, going back to that, I don't think of these progressive liberal Democrats do not represent the interests of the common people. And until we wake up, until I believe the common people wake up, and that includes those who vote Democrat, until they start waking up and seeing, okay, these people that we voting for right now is really destroying the country, we're going to keep getting this kind of stuff. We're going to keep getting these kind of actions, these kind of attitudes from the common people. We're going to keep getting these kind of actions. And we're going to see, and I believe, in my opinion, we're going to see an increase, once again, of not only people attacking comedians and because of something they don't like the comedian said, but we're going to see an increase in crime this summer. We're going to see an increase in assaults. People are just going to go buck wild. Now I'm not just giving you my opinion, but that's what I feel in my gut. I feel that in my gut, man, because of policymakers like this, district attorneys like this, they're all over the country. Mayors that have this progressive democratic worldview. Then we have a president that's I don't know what he calls himself. He don't even probably know what he calls himself, but clearly he's a progressive. And but the question is, what are we progressing to? And what are we progressing from? They use the term progressive to sound professional. Right? If you say progressive Democrat or progressive, it sounds acceptable. It sounds professional, right? But in reality, when you do a study on what progressivism really is all about, you find out it's just another word for socialism and communism. That's all they're doing is pushing socialism and communism a little bit at a time, but they call themselves progressives so that the people will accept them. Oh, we're just trying to progress towards better things. Well, how's that working for you? Crime at an all-time high, gas prices at an all-time high, inflation at an all-time high. The border crisis is truly a border crisis. Is that progressive? What are we progressing to? Are we progressing to prosperity or are we progressing to absolute, utter destruction? I submit we are progressing to utter, absolute destruction and the destruction of this country if the mass of Americans don't wake up and put people in office that ought to be put in office. But I just wanted to say that. What do you guys think about this situation, about this DA? And what do you think about his actions? Put your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe. God bless you all, and see you again.